guys, it's Casey from SportsPicksNation.com. Today is Friday, January the 27th, 2012. And guys, I know this has been a very, very tough week. I've had some people send me some not so nice messages and not so nice emails, things like that. That's fine, guys. The deal is we do have losing weeks. And I'm one of those guys. Today I'm going to talk about losing streaks and money management, something that you'll almost never see anybody else on the internet talking about. The other guys that are on the internet, even when they're having terrible losing streaks, they still find some way to spin it or to change their name, change their website, change something, some way where these guys are always winning all the time, like every single week, every single month, all the time. They're always winning. Guys, let's get real for a second. The thing is, you are going to have bad weeks in this business. That's just the way it is. And like I said before, when you're on a losing streak, it seems like you're never going to climb out of it. When you're on a winning streak, you feel like, oh, I'm never going to lose. I'm always going to win. At the beginning of this month in January, we were up over $5,000 like in the first 7 to 10 days. We were hitting like 70, 80% winners. Right now, we've given a lot of that profit back, so now our net profit sits at about $1,350 for the month, which is still a profit, but you'd much rather be in the $5,000 range than in the $1,300 range, okay? So that leads me to the money management part that I want to talk about, and I'm just going to talk about this very quickly, you guys. One email in particular that I got, a guy that's saying, hey, I followed your picks, and this week I'm down, this many $1,000s, and I know what you're talking about, guys. I'm down over $3,000 this week myself, but the point is, are you managing your money properly to be able to weather the storms when you hit a losing week? What if you hit a losing month? Now, I haven't had a losing month since June of 2011. And let me tell you something, it wasn't any fun. At the end of the month, I was down over $2,000 for the month. But that's the last losing month that I've had. And I've never had a losing year. From January through December, never had a losing year. Okay? Some years I do better than other years, but I've never had a losing year. So again, on the money management, guys, you need to figure out what is your bankroll. If your bankroll is $1,000, if it's $5,000, if it's $10,000, let's just say it's $10,000 that you have. Okay, now this should be $10,000 that you have set aside to invest in sporting events or to gamble, if you want to call it gambling, whatever your verbiage is that you prefer to use. It's basically, this is money that you're willing to risk. Now, it shouldn't be money that you spend on your car payment or your house payment or your rent or your food or any of these type of things. This should be $10,000 over and above all that other stuff that you are willing to risk, meaning you can lose all of it. Now, hopefully, if you do things the right way and you manage your money properly, you won't. You'll actually be in profit at the end of the year, at the end of each month. Now, if you take this $10,000 in this example, you should never ever be betting more than about 2 to maybe a maximum of 4% of that $10,000 at any given time in any given game. Okay, so if we're gonna go that route, you should be betting somewhere between $200 and $300 a game if your bankroll is $10,000. Okay, up to a maximum of $400 on one game. I would say your betting unit, if you have $10,000, I would say your betting unit is probably $300. That's what it should be, is about $300 per game, okay? Now, if you have a losing day, if you have a losing week, whatever happens during the week, if you go up, let's say today you actually won 2 out of 3, or you won 2 out of 2, and your bankroll has gone up by $500 or $600, then you adjust your percentage up. So now your betting unit, instead of $300, it's going to be a little bit higher than $300. It's going to be whatever that percentage is. All right. Conversely, if you have a losing day or a losing week, you lower your betting unit accordingly. Okay. So now let's say after a week you've had a terrible week, and now your bankroll, your complete bankroll maybe is only, say, $7,000 or $8,000, whatever the case may be. Now you should be betting 2 to 3 or 2 to 4% of that number. Okay? Now I hope you're following me here, because talking about losing streaks, talking about money management, this is the only way that you're going to be able to stay in the game and be able to continue playing, is if you adjust your units up or down until you get to a comfortable unit. Now I myself, I've been doing this for several years, long before I ever started this website or started doing these videos. So guys, I'm very comfortable at $500 per game. Even if I have a losing week, even if I have a losing month, my betting unit doesn't change, because I'm comfortable right there, and I've been there for quite a while. Okay, I still bet $500 a game, even though this week I'm down $3,000. That's a fact, but my betting unit doesn't change. Now what I'm telling you is, when your betting unit changes accordingly as you go up and down until you get to where you want to be. Once you get to where you want to be, maybe $300 a game is going to be where you're at from now on. Maybe you're going to be at $500 a game. Maybe at some point you go to $1,000 per game. Okay? But any way you want to slice it, the most important thing here is that you manage your money so that you can weather these type of situations, where if you have a bad run of 3 or 4 days, a week, even a month, the only way you're going to get through it, and the only way you're going to come out on the other side and be able to continue to play on these games, is if you do the type of money management strategy that I'm talking about. Now, a lot of these handicappers that you see out there, I'm going to tell you this exactly. Now there's a little bit more to it, but that's it in a nutshell, guys. Okay? Also, the other thing, there's nothing wrong with passing. Let me say it again. There's nothing wrong with passing. Now don't be scared of it, and if you have a losing day, you shouldn't be scared of making a play the next day. Or even if you have 3 or 4 losing days, you shouldn't be scared of making the play the next day. You should not. Emotion shouldn't play a part in this. Now it's very difficult when you're talking about losing money to not get emotional. I understand that, okay? But that's what we're talking about, is using this as a business and sticking with the plan, even when you have a little downturn and your profits go down, or when your profits go up. Either way, we don't get emotional about it. We stick with the plan. Okay? So I just wanted to put this out there, guys. Again, if you don't feel good about a play, if you don't feel good about a pick, if you don't feel like putting your money in and you're not sure about it, nothing wrong with passing. You can pass. You can say, you know what? This one I'm not going to get down on this game because I don't feel good about it. It doesn't match up with my spreadsheets and my numbers and my handicapping or whatever it is I'm doing. So I'm going to pass. Okay? So having said all that, guys, let's put that behind us, and let's mark today on our calendar as the day that we're going to start things in the right direction. And so from now to the end of the month, this is what I usually do. Whenever I hit a losing streak that's more than 3 or 4 days, I don't change anything in the way that I handicap these games. I still look for the same line value. I still do the same thing. But what I usually do is I try to hone in on one particular game and try to get back on the winning track that way. Sometimes it's a lot easier to find one winner and get back on the winning track than it is to try to find 2 or 3 or 4. Okay? So that's what we're going to do today, guys. I've got one game in the NBA, and that's going to be a premium members play. I don't have any free pick for you today. I apologize, because I'm only on one game only. And it wouldn't be fair to the paid members who are paying their $20 a month if I release this to everybody. So I've only got one play. I'll be back again tomorrow with more plays and hopefully a free one. But for right now, hopefully you guys can watch this video and hopefully you take something away from it. All right? I'm KC from SportsPicksNation.com, wishing us good luck tonight.